When I first saw that Clash Royale was one of the biggest games out there, the first thing I said in my head was, oh my god, this does not deserve a second chance. Here's the thing. There are people out there who done crazy shit, okay? There are, okay? And these people deserve second chances because they self-improve. They try to prove it to people. And there are people who are pieces of shit and don't deserve a shit. And they haven't improved, and they will never improve, and they will just get worse and worse and worse and worse. It's the same thing with games. Some games are pieces of shit and then ends up improving, like No Man's Sky. And some games are pieces of shit and don't improve, like Clash Royale. I know this is going to sound very rude and offensive, but I'm just going to say it anyways. I feel like Jinxie did a really big mistake by bringing back the game. And honestly, I am going to get a lot of dislikes on this, but let me explain. When it actually got back, there was a lot of problems in the first place, okay? When Jinxie picked it up, the worst part is, it wasn't that the problems were at least somewhat fixed or something like that. They didn't even try to tackle the problems. They just made it more with problematic stuff. It's hard to get max level. It's hard to get all of these stuff. And at the end of the day, it just felt bad, boring, and it was absolutely just terrible. And here's the thing. These types of games are just not going to improve. If you want Clash Royale to improve, the best thing you should do is quit the game. And I know this is going to sound weird, but here's the thing. A lot of times when developers end up, seeing more and more people quitting the game because obviously the game is dying, they're going to improve the game a lot more. And if they don't, well, that's their own fault. And here's the thing. Clash Royale is one of the first Supercell games, meaning I highly doubt they're going to kill off the game. They're going to improve it by big time, like big time, okay? And that's the problem, though. The problem is more and more people are getting into the game, but the game isn't fixing itself because people are paying them more money and more things so they can get the max level. At the end of the day, it just doesn't feel right. So, how can you fix Clash Royale? How can you fix all of these things? Well, the first thing I have a suggestion is, the first thing ever you should do is, you can keep level 16, level 20, whatever. But the very first thing I would recommend doing is actually make the game easy for you to upgrade. And I know this is going to sound weird, but the thing is, Clash Royale is not a upgrading system game. Meaning, it's just a game based on strategy. Okay, let me explain, okay? Let's say you're playing two types of Clash Royale. Imagine there's two different versions. One version we have now, it's hard to upgrade. Let's say it has 100 levels, and you're like, what the hell is going on? And the second type of game is this game where it may have 100 levels, but it's easy to upgrade and it's easy for you to do strategies. Well, Clash of Mini was one of those games. Clash of Mini did not have that much upgrades in my opinion, and I played it by a little bit. And the game didn't really rely on upgrades and stuff like this, and it actually relied on true strategy. This is why, these types of stuff end up being successful because they put on their genre within one specific field. And this is gonna sound weird, but the thing is, Clash Royale is not an upgrading matter game, even though they make it sound like it and they make it feel like it. This is why I didn't like the introduction of champions, and this is why I don't like the introductions of heroes. Okay, I'll take that back with the champions. I actually like the champions. I thought that was fun and very creative, but even then, heroes just feels like pains of shit, and at the end of the day, it just doesn't even deserve to be in the game. And I know this is gonna sound weird and stupid, but I feel like instead of you playing it for an entire year or two, and then ending up, only maxing, let's say, 1 or 2 decks or something like that, I feel like every single month you should max out a new deck. I feel like that's what Clash Royale is. And maybe, who knows, there could be a soft reset every single month, something like that. But what I'm trying to say is that Clash Royale isn't an upgrading game, and I feel like Supercell has to know that. It's not a game where people enjoy to upgrade. Meaning, if you literally just have no levels and you're just playing with strategy, people will play it even more. I actually have a theory that if Clash Royale ever tries to remove, let's say, levels, okay? And let's say keep the shards in and keep all of that in, but removes all the levels, I have a strange theory that people will end up picking up the game a little bit more because it's genuine, true strategy. Maybe they can nerf and buff other characters every single month or something like that to make it a little bit more creative, and even then, it's that type of game. It's kind of like what I said about Brawl Stars. Brawl Stars is a game where it's not for you to play, with the game with that you just don't want to level it up, right? Brawl Stars is not a game where you don't want to level up, like level 100 or level 200 or something like that. Brawl Stars is a game where you want to play, with with 100 different types of brawlers and choose whatever you want with crazy amount of game modes. That's what Brawl Stars is. Clash Royale is one game mode, one simple strategy, and at the end of the day, destroy the towers, win, and that's pretty much it. I feel like also this is why when people say Clash Royale needed game modes, I feel like they were in the wrong, because Clash Royale in the beginning didn't need that. It just needed to focus on their cards. I know it sounds weird, but I feel like, Clash Royale should have improved that even more. Another thing I hate about Clash Royale is that sometimes it takes, and I mentioned this, but I'm going to mention this a little bit more briefly, but it takes so much longer for you to upgrade to max level. I'm talking about King Tower Defense or whatever, and I actually like that idea, right? And here's the thing, I like the leveling systems and stuff like that, but I just want to talk about, like, brother, how long it is, and I know I'm repeating myself, but how long it is frustrating, okay? But I do actually have a genuine problem, and the problem is $40 emotes. I am not kidding when I say this. I remember I saw one YouTuber's video. I don't know who, but I saw one YouTuber's video. And I was scrolling, and he just shows this like $40 emote, right? This is why, Greedy Cell exists, right? So there's like this $40 emote. And I'm watching this video, and I thought this was clickbait. So I go in, and I go on my Clash Royale account, and I see the $40 emote in my account. And brother, this is what I'm saying. I feel like Clash Royale is just being hungry with money and not caring about the community and what they just want in the game. At the end of the day, you have to understand, even though the community may not be happy with something, sometimes you have to do something that the community doesn't like so you can do something better. Look at Brawl Stars, for example, and Brawl Stars is really amazing example on this. I remember when Brawl Stars first came out, and they, instead of introducing, this long range, like a Clash Royale build-up, you know what I'm talking about? Like, how you could play your phone like this, right? So, like, you would, like, play, you know what I'm saying? They introduced it where you could play Brawl Stars like this on your phone, okay? So, like, just, yeah. Anywho, so they introduced that, and people were actually somewhat frustrated. Some were okay with it, and I've actually heard that people didn't like that change. Eventually, people did, and just people ignored about it. A great example is removing, boxes. Some people were mad about it. Some people were actually great about it. But then they introduced it back with Lucky Draw. So stuff like that. What I'm saying is, yeah, I get that Clash Royale doesn't have to, obey the community, because, not all the time the community is right. Let's be honest here. Here's the thing, though, and here's the bigger thing that Clash Royale needs to understand. Despite that, that doesn't mean you have the right to ignore the community as well. Meaning, don't ignore us to the point where you just want to hear what you want to hear. And I get so frustrated when I play a game that, that just doesn't do well, right? And then someone picks it up, but the game itself is terrible. Meaning there's like no content, it's hard to get. And then at the end of the day, people end up losing interest because it's that type of game. And I feel like Clash Royale really just doesn't deserve that hype. At least not anymore. And I do wish the best for Clash Royale. I'm always going to pick it up, and I'm always going to try to play it again. Maybe if they do something better. But even then, right now, I simply can't play because it just feels boring. I even predicted that this year, I literally did, towards the end of this year, I literally said, on December, towards the end of this year, Clash Royale is probably gonna die. I really did say that, and I was unfortunately right with these types of games, and I kind of had a bad feeling that Clash Royale is gonna go downhill, and I was completely right. But again, let me know what you guys think, because here's the thing. Here's the thing, okay? In order for you to improve and not be a piece of shithead, all you gotta do is just not be a piece of shithead. That's it. That's really all it is, okay? You don't have to be a piece of shithead, okay? Personally, this is why I love Brawl Stars a lot more. This is why I like, Clash of Clans a lot more, because they are not shitheads. They know what they're doing, and that's why I like these types of games. Hell, Minecraft. The people in Minecraft is doing really good. Even Fortnite and even all of those stuff, in my opinion, they're doing really good, and I feel like they're going to be successful. But Clash Royale right now isn't doing the best, and I feel like they just need to pick up the pace and say, okay, we're doing something wrong. Let's listen to our community and let's see what we got. But here's the thing, you know, I'm just a guy rambling on YouTube. I don't think they're gonna post my video on their channel or maybe react or, you know, something big, because I'm a small guy and I have nothing really to say. But here's the thing, if someone did watch it from Supercell, I do have one thing to say, and that is be careful on what you add, because it can literally impact your community. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.